Hello and welcome everyone. This session is specifically designed to train you all on how to write an executive summary. This session is extremely important, so you're more than welcome to pause and take notes and comment in the comment box below. Let's begin. Executive summary is like the cover letter for your resume, is one of those most important documents that you need to be aware of the components and what exactly need to be added in order to attract the attention of the stakeholders, primary one and the secondary one. In the executive summary, there's supposed to be specific components added. Today, we're going to review what is an executive summary and what exactly you need to embed within the executive summary. Executive summary, as it sounds, the name is a summary for the executives. Basically, when you're having a proposal for a problem within an industry, you need to document it as a proposal, and the executive summary is a short summary of that proposal that you need to introduce that document and present it in front of the committee members to approve the budget. Basically, an executive summary of a business plan will give a better overview to the committee members or the business opportunities to be approved, and the budget as well as the timeline. Executive summary explains the type of the business that the company operates, summarizes the key facts and strategies supporting the business growth. If presented for funding, the executive summary specifically indicates the lender or the investors a quick snapshot, which helps them to get better ideas on how much and how long will take for that project to be accomplished. How do you need an executive summary to be completed? Executive summary, in short, is a summary of your project that you need to quickly present it in front of the stakeholders. Executive summary length is usually 1 page for the college and university proposal writings or the research report writing. However, for the company writing, it does not exceed 1 or 2 pages. As it sounds, is a summary for the executive. So when you're structuring your executive summary, the first thing to keep that in mind is keep it short, keep it comprehensive, keep it concise, so the ideal length cannot exceed 1 or 2 pages. The key elements of the executive summary specifically are known as few below. The problem statement is the first and most important element within the executive summary. The problem statement or the business opportunity will introduce the gap or the problem in the market which your business aims to solve. This is your problem statement, and it should be included in the summary as a first important sentence. As investors, they want to understand, they want to comprehend if the world truly needs your company products or services. The second component within the executive summary is your business idea. You're not solving anything, you're suggesting solutions to that gap or the problem. So the next thing that the reader will look for is how you approach or what you propose as the solutions to those problems. This is your business model. So it should briefly describe how your product or service can solve the problem. The next component within the executive summary is a little bit of a company history. The best indicator of the future success is the past success. Basically, your company's history helps the reader understand how your business has evolved and grown over the years and what you've been able to accomplish. Even startups have generally accomplished milestones like choosing a company name, conceiving products, finding a location, and etc. Next, you need to analyze the industry. You need to embed the details, the industry that you're in, that you're operating within, the size of the industry, the trends that are positively or negatively influencing that specific gap. This will give the reader a sense of the size of the opportunity that you're pursuing, which will take you to the scope of the project. The target market or customers are known as primary or the secondary stakeholders. Every business has a target audience base for the target market on which that they focus. So you need to add more details about the types of customers or the demographic, psychographic, for example, profiles of the customers. Competition could be another component that you need to address. When you venture into a market or an industry, there are generally other players with which you compete. Knowing your competition is important, and market research is crucial to success. Readers of your plan want to know who your competitors are, their strengths, and in what areas you will have competitors' advantage. Financial plans would be the next one, as well as the milestone. Basically, milestone of the company is how far this the company has evolved or grown, or the scope of the project, for example, achieving the sales and so on. Financial planning, if you're requesting funding from the investors or the committee members or banks, they need to know how far in terms of the finances you would go. A brief financial summary covering the key points of how and where you plan to allocate the funds should be included in the summary. For existing businesses, you should also provide a history, summary of the past financial performances, and so on. How would you write your executive summary for a business plan? You need to complete the rest of your business plan, as the executive summary provides the highlights for it. For example, if your industry analysis section analyze and mention that your industry current size is $100 billion and is projected to grow by 90% every year over the next 5 years, this is an exciting statistics and opportunity that should be mentioned in your executive summary. The next step is you need to start with 1 or 2 line description of your company. It is very important to be brief and concise, as the executive summary cannot exceed 1 or 2 pages. Then you can create your executive summary structure, which should be concise, precise, and direct. Keep it short, keep it direct to the point, and make sure that you follow this video and share it with your friends. At this point, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show everyone a video. In this video, you learn how to write the executive summary. Take notes, please.
Having a reader-friendly business report is not the same as having a friendly business report reader. However, you can probably have a more friendly reader if you make certain your report is reader-friendly. As you've progressed through the report writing process, you've made certain to provide all the parts the reader will want and need to see. You've shown the reader why you are recommending your plan to solve the reader's problem, and you've given the reader a visual image with graphics. Certainly, all of those will help your audience understand the report and are part of a reader-friendly report. But now let's look at one final area to help make certain the reader's first impression of your report is a positive one. Does it look easy to read? Those visuals you included combine pictures with written copy to allow the reader a break from reading word after word. But other reader-friendly elements also need to be used. First, look at the readability index of the report. Although various readability formulas are available, Flesch and Gunning, or just called FOG index, are among the most common ones. Most word processing programs have a function that will tell you the readability level of your document, or you can take 2 or 3 100-word samples and quickly compute for yourself. 2 things typically determine how readable a document is. The average sentence length, around 20 words, is considered average, and the percent of difficult words. Even though different formula have variations, the longer the sentence and the more multi-syllabled words used, the higher or more difficult the reading level. Don't interpret that as meaning that all sentences should be under 20 words and no word of more than 2 syllables should be used. Think about your audience's education level and expectation. However, a reminder, Your purpose is to express clearly your information, not to impress your reader with multi-syllable words and convoluted sentences. Having a higher education level does not mean that the reader can read 50-word sentences with a high percentage of multi-syllable words without having to stop and break the sentences into clear thought units. That's really not the reader's job. That's the writer's responsibility. If the reader has to do that, then the document is not reader-friendly. Another way to ensure a reader-friendly appearance is to look at the length of the paragraphs. Do they look readable? Approximately 6 to 10 lines are probably the maximum paragraph length that a reader will read easily. Longer paragraphs result in either not being read at all or just being scanned. Remember that final outline, the one that became the report's table of contents? Those descriptive headings that became section captions throughout the report? That's another way to help ensure a reader-friendly document. Those headings clearly identify the section's topic before the reader begins reading, sort of an overview or a preview. Readers of reader-friendly reports will never stop reading because they are confused about how one idea or section relates to the next, or how the data were analyzed to reach the report's conclusion. So another way to help ensure the document is easy for the reader is to check the transition, lead in and lead out of each section. Tie together the ideas. Use words such as furthermore and on the other hand, as you guide the reader from idea to idea, section to section. Use words such as consequently and therefore to alert the reader that you are giving a conclusion based on data presented. So you increase your chance of having a reader-friendly business report and a more friendly reader if you know the readability level of the report, if you've made the report look easy to read with visuals and not too long paragraphs, have used internal headings to guide the reader through the report, and have clearly connected all the ideas. All of those are the writer's responsibility.
What I always suggest the students to do is try to have their executive summaries read by their friends and go through the checklist and make sure that you have all those components that I reviewed within this video. Thank you for watching.